But let me give you the girls' point of view. A lot of the girls are not willing to put up with ambitious men. You know why? Because they want them to be time for them. Yeah. And an ambitious man doesn't have time for you a lot. He does not. Are you willing to forego that time?
For me, yes. Like I understand what it takes.
For the end goal?
Exactly. What are you trying to build? That's
a great question.
It is. Because, when we first met, Russ was like, it's going to be 60, 70 hours a week for me. Are you willing to not see me for those times? I'm like, yeah. You know why? Because I believe in what you're doing.
But did he still make time to work on your marriage, to keep some sort of connection?
He did.
Exactly. That's the thing, is you still have to make time to make your woman feel loved or make that person feel loved.
He did.
I have no problem with an ambition, because I'm an ambition. I have my own thing.
Of course, yeah.
But as long as they know, this is my love language. This is what I require. I don't need it all the time, but I still need to know that we are still going to make time for date nights,
right? And
at least know that we are.
What you're looking for is a balance.
Exactly.
Right. We all try to achieve a work-life balance. As we're younger, at least when I was younger, speaking from personal experience, it was all work. And then as you get older, you start realizing there's more to life than just work. You got to find that balance. Yeah. I think a lot of people have a challenge finding balance in all aspects of life, in trying to find somebody, in trying to balance that ambition, and trying to find some time to have a family. I think that's a struggle for people, because America's a rugged, individualistic country, and we're always trying to keep up with the Joneses, with our friends, with our family. Absolutely. We're all trying to one up each other in conversations and our travels. I'm not like that. Alicia's not like that. But we've come across people that you go to dinner and it's always like, what'd you do? What'd I do? And the conversation kind of dies down, because it's not a fun
superficial. It's superficial.
Right. Just trying to one up each other.
Right.
It's good, so annoying.
So I always say, good for you, good for me. There's always somebody stronger, faster, smarter, wealthier, right? Unless you're Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett or something, there's always somebody. You could be worth 10 billion, there's somebody worth 15 billion after that. So,
but it's defining what's important to you.
Right.
Like you had said earlier, it's defining what you agree with, right, and what you want, and your significant other also agreeing with that and knowing that there's an understanding.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's I.
But how much does physical mean to you?
I think you still need to be attracted to them. I mean, I've dated guys that weren't
is it weighted towards physical, or is it weighted towards mental?
Mine's more mental. Right. I love a guy that can have a good conversation, right, intellectual conversation, and I love someone that we can get really deep with. And so physical is there. I like to work out, so obviously I like someone that we could maybe go work out. That could be
do something together.
That's our way to find time for each other.
Right.
Because I've dated guys that weren't physically what I normally go for, and they were amazing guys. They were super smart guys.
What happened?
They were immature. They still wanted just to have a friends with benefits type of relationship, and I'm I'm over that stage.
Yeah.
I'm done. So that's what happened, and it's they were just not in the right headspace to want to have an actual relationship.
Right. And
when I would have those tougher conversations of what I expected, that's where they turned off, and I was just oh, should I not say what I expect? And at one point I would kind of be well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to see how it goes. But now I'm no, I'm within a few dates, I'll let you know this is what I appreciate.
Yeah. No, I agree. So as you get older, you tolerate less.
You do, because life's too short
to
have, crappy people in your life.
Yes.
Energy zappers.
Energy zappers.
Yeah.
Buzz killers.
Buzz killers. Buzz killers.
Right.
Yeah. They really are.
Yeah, they are buzz killers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, let's talk a little bit about women and men in terms of communication. I think when we talk to men and we give men maybe a scenario or a problem that we're having, most men want to fix our problem, right?
Yep.
And what do women want? Women just want to be heard. They just want to vent. They just want to talk to you through the problem and through the situation. But I think immediately the men jump into, let me fix it for you. What do I need to do to fix it for you so you don't feel sad or you don't feel, defeated?
Do you feel
is that something that you
fix it for you or talk to you about it?
Men are fixers. But men are fixers. Innately, they want they want their woman.
That chivalry thing.
they want their woman to be okay with it. What can I do to fix this problem for you?
I need to go beat up.
So that's a difficult communication problem.
That's a different part of my life.
I mean, I think it comes down to, again, communicating. Like, I have realized now, even with any of my like friendships, my sisters and I, sometimes I just want to vent. I don't need a solution.
It's just a vent. It's just a vent. Yeah, they just want to be heard. Women just want to be heard.
And then once you, so now I've realized, like, hey, I need to talk about something. I just need you to hear me out. I don't need you to give me solutions. And that is the way I will treat my relationships with a man, and be like, I don't need you to problem solve. I just need to vent it out, and then I'll be done.
So here's a tip for the men.
Yeah.
You just want to show that you care about what she's saying.
Or ask. Like,
and you acknowledge her, you hear her, and listen to what she's saying, and not say, and validate what she's saying, and recognize that what she's saying is affecting her.
That is not too much to ask.
It isn't.
If you're significant other, if the girl you're interested in has to get something off her chest, has to get it out there, then if you don't have the patience to listen to that,
exactly. You're not ready for the relationship. You're not ready for the relationship.
No, you're not.
There's times when I will say something to Rusk, and I'll preface everything with, like, I just need you to listen to me, because his immediate response is like, what do I need to fix it? Let me get on the phone and talk to somebody and fix this problem for you. And I will preface a conversation that I just need to vent, as like, honey, I just need to vent with you. I just need to let it out because I just can't hold this in anymore. Right. But I don't want you to fix anything. It's just me venting for you, because I know his immediate response is he wants to fix it for me.
I got a threat.
Yeah.
Tell me.
You just said it.
I preface a conversation with, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen to me. And he will sit there, and I'm like, and don't pop in with anything. I just need you to let me get it out of myself. So he will sit there and he will listen to me get it all out, and then I'm good. But it's a conversation, it's a communication tactic that I think people can achieve. Yeah. If as a woman, I know that my husband has a tendency to want to fix my issues, I say to him, I just want to vent with you because I'm struggling with the situation, and I just need to talk to somebody about it.
And again, this is a perfect case of communication.
Yeah.
Listen to your communication. You're letting him know,
exactly.
I need to get this off my chest. I need to tell you, you don't have to do anything about it, but I need to talk.
Mm-hmm. But also on the other end, like from the listener's perspective, like sometimes if the other person doesn't preface it that way or pre-frame it, you can be like, do you need me to listen, or do you want me also to help you problem solve? And that's the easiest way to just be like, I just need you to listen. So at least you're acknowledging it, and you're like, they're just listening and just comforting them at that point. Because what if it's something that happened at work and they're just outraged by it?
Exactly.
But all they need is you to listen and be like, I know how you feel, or I know that sucks, but I'm here for you whatever way you need. And that is it.
That's it. That's it.
Feel supported. Yeah. You're validating your partner, and they know that they have somebody that's just 100% there for them.
Exactly. And I think that's part of the tactics that you can learn as you're communicating with someone is really setting up the scenario where what's coming. I build up a lot, and I don't let things out. He's very good about venting right away and letting it out. Boom, it's done. And I'm not. I will hold things in if I'm bothered, if I'm pissed, if I'm angry. I'm like gonna ball it up until I like freaking just had enough and explode. Right. And so I'll go to him like, I'm ready to explode, but I need you to like hold me back and just listen to me, because I'm exploding right now. I need to just get it all out of my system. But for Rusk, it's very hard for him because he likes to fix things for me. He likes to get on the phone and fix it for me. And like, well, what needs to happen so this can get better? I'm like, nothing needs to happen. I just need you to hear me out and acknowledge and recognize. And so that's a tactic that we've developed over the years, because he is a fixer. And I'm not a sharer. I won't share. Like, if you see me on social media, I won't be crying on my phone. If something's happening to me, like a lot of girls do, they will cry on the phone, and I just had a situation, because they want to show vulnerability. I don't do that. I don't do that, because vulnerability for me is a weakness.
But that can be like not necessarily a bad trait, but that
it can be
a little toxic, because you want, with your partner, you need to show vulnerability. You need to be able to.
But that's the difference, though, is I will show vulnerability with people I trust. with people who know me very well,
Right.
not with people who I know on social media and maybe know me, maybe not, who knows, maybe they just follow me because of whatever. But I'm only going to be vulnerable to someone who I love and I know will hold my heart in their hand and not
a personality trait.
Yeah, you're guarded.
I mean, you're a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah.
I think that plays a big factor also.
In your upbringing too, like how you were brought up, like we're Mexicanas, so we know, like we were.
And I hold it together for my family, so I always have to hold it together.
Yeah, you always do.
So I can't show weakness because everybody's hoping that I'm gonna be the strong one.
You don't think you can show weakness.
Yeah.
But you can, but you don't.
But I don't.
Yeah.
But she does. With
and that's something he helps me with. Yeah.
She chooses not to. Right.
Yeah.
And I've told her that from time to time. It's okay to be vulnerable. People would appreciate honesty when you admit to a mistake, when you have this perception of being infallible, and also where you just kind of fess up to something that you said you would have done different. I think people appreciate that and respect it more.
Yeah.
So going back to the communication, do you feel comfortable expressing your communication goals with your partners or with someone you're interested in?
What do you mean by communication goals?
Like, are you willing to say to them, I really would like if you just text me back?
Yeah, I think after like maybe like the first few dates, I definitely would be like, hey, I prefer to have a response within a few hours. That might be, an anxiety or a trauma from my past, but I need that reassurance. And that's just the way that I know that you actually are still interested and care.
So would you present it that way? Like, I have my,
my traumas,
my traumas from the past. Like, is that
sometimes? Yeah. If I feel comfortable with that person, why should I feel like I can't say anything to someone? And if you aren't able to like deal with that in a sense, it's like, then why are we in? Like, I feel like.
Well, we haven't had a date yet, so I can't tell you.
I'm saying this is like a few dates in.
I'm just kidding.
I think Thomas is like asking on a date right now. There's something. Listen, if you get with the Mexicana, you won the lottery. I'm just saying, you get with the Mexican girl, you won the lottery.
Well, you already know that the last one whose mother I met on date one, that was a Latina.
First of all, you wouldn't even need my mother that soon because I'm very guarded with my family.
Thomas, were you head over heels over her?
I was, you know what?
She will have a spell on you. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, I was really digging her vibe. I really was digging her vibe. And
what did you like about her?
What I liked about her? Mm-hmm. I loved the word ambition that I mentioned a bit ago. Okay. I loved her ambition. So she is a full-time tax accountant and she's in law school. But what happened was her schedule was insane. And
your schedule is insane too.
My schedule is also insane. And I am looking into getting into the graduate program at Rice for January. And that's 24 months of an even more insane schedule. So that's unfortunately what happened. I mean, that is what happened. So, yeah.
It's a valid one.
I was just going to say, if you find her and she's Mexican, you won the lottery. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no,
saying.
She was an amazing girl. Amazing
no, she has to be a Mexican girl.
And one thing I really loved is I have no family in Houston. Her family were all in Richmond, but her mom was here all the time. So for the first 2 or 3 dates when I drove her home to drop her off, her mom was there. And I remember on my birthday at the end of May, I dropped her off and her mom opened the door at her condo and she goes, "Hey, you want to come in for some tequila?" And I was like, you had me at hello.
Was the mom single? Maybe you should have hooked up with the mom.
You had me at tequila.
Maybe the mom was the real candidate here.
Nah, the mom is not available. But I hung out. I saw the whole family. We had a couple of family dinners, family events. She was an amazing girl. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
It was just timing.
So since then, I just went into work mode. you know? Yeah. And then the summer passed and it's almost October.
It's
It's
cuffing
almost
season,
October.
as they call it.
It's what?
Cuffing season.
Cuffing or cuffing?
What is that?
Cuffing
What is
season
cuffing
is
season?
where you find someone where you're gonna. It's more
You're
like
going to stay warm with.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cuffing?
Cuffing season is what they call
Spell that for
it.
me.
CUFFING.
What does cuffing
I
mean?
haven't
It's just
heard
a
the
phrase
term.
that like it's more millennial and
Yeah, no kidding.
obviously you haven't
But
heard it. You haven't
is it
heard it.
millennial? I've
No,
never heard it.
No, you said you knew what it was.
You aren't even.
No. I just repeated what she
Oh,
said.
but you knew what you was
I don't know what
No,
cuffing
cuffing
is.
season is a thing. Okay,
Okay,
if you're on
handcuffs.
social media or TikTok or following the trends, apparently, like when the end of summer happens, you gotta find. It's they've even made it a game at this point where you find
Someone
your
to
guy,
keep you
someone
warm
to
during
keep you
winter.
warm. But it's like
And then when
really-
spring comes, you tell them to go fuck off or
Yeah.
what?
Because then it's gonna be like the summer was hot girl summer, and it was really like working on yourself.
Oh
It was
my
very-
god.
It's the trends that happen, but I think that
Hashtag cuffing? Like, is it?
I figure cupping would make more sense.
I was going to say cupping
no,
or
it's cuffing with the
many other words. I was going to hashtag.
Maybe
pull
another one
out.
with an F in the front.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God,
Yeah.
Alicia, you will know what this is.
Right.
Do I think it's healthy? No, because
Hashtag fall blanking. You know?
Fall
no.
What's
No.
No.
Casey's got this look of disgust, like, ooh,
What is
no.
fall blinking?
I'm totally about that.
You know,
It's not.
When you
I
lay.
censored it.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, people, come on.
I'm sorry, we're too old. We're not that much older.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Yeah, you were down with that 2 hours ago when your hubby came back from picking up the microphone.
You know what? I'm obsessed with my man.
I know you are.
He really has a hard time with me because I'm just obsessed with him.
So okay, what?
I can't go anywhere
Well, look,
because I
I
can't
look
take him. I'm
up to you
obsessed.
guys.
Oh,
Like,
How do you keep that spark alive?
we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
You know, Alicia and I just we both have strong personalities, but we somehow just learn to get along. And I think a lot of it, I'm going to take credit for this, is that I am, Alicia's 120% or 0%. And I'm very good at compartmentalizing. I can put things into different baskets very easily for me in terms of, I'm a businessman since I was a kid. I see ROI in absolutely anything. I know that sounds a little cerebral in terms of emotion, but in a relationship, but I think that's what works with Alicia, because Alicia struggled with guys for a long time because she
toxic relationships before
she
you.
is- she is all in or she's not in. I can be in a little bit, I can be a little bit more, I can be a little bit more than that. It all depends on my situation, right?
Yeah.
If I have a business relationship and I think there's value in this, I'm going to go a little bit more in. I'm going to go more in after that. It depends on where I am in situations. I think with Alicia is that I know she's 120% in, so I'm going to go 120% in with her. That's how
So
I
it's
see it.
finding a good match as well. Somebody
Right.
that compliments you. 'Cause I always joke that I won't have somebody that's exactly like me because I
Right.
can be a lot as far as energy level.
Right.
So I know my person's gonna probably be a little bit calmer than I am. Maybe.
Right.
Or we'll just
But
compliment
you want
each
that
other.
balance. You don't want somebody exactly like yourself.
No.
You need a
heck
balance.
no.
You
I
do
would
need-
not want-
No, you do need a balance.
I mean, I would be like. picking
No,
myself
you
up.
don't want somebody
I'd
like
love to
you.
date myself.
I love myself so much. Again, going back to the conversation of how you stay married for so long is I've been obsessed with this guy for years. I mean, since we first met. And it's never faltered. If anything, I become even more obsessed with him. And that's a toxic trait now because it could be something that could really tear our relationship apart if I become so invested
Uh-huh.
in who we are. I will go to events and I will have to talk myself out of like, don't go crazy on him if there's another woman talking to him. Don't go crazy if another woman approaches him.
You got to tell yourself.
I talk to myself about that because I'm very much,
Every time.
I'm very possessive of my relationship. I'm very protective of my relationship.
But it's good that you're aware of those things.
I
You're able to kind of
am, but I
talk
also know that it's something that bothers him a lot because we would go out and he knows that I'm very possessive of our relationship and who we are as a couple.
You better not be talking about them.
But he can't, and he has to talk to other women. He has to, but I look at it like she wants something. She's looking for something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of divorced women my age that are looking for somebody like him because I'm very spoiled. I'm super spoiled. And they're like, "Oh, what is Russ doing for you? Like, get in there." And so I have to protect that relationship that I have with him.
Yeah, and it's a valid point. Like if you feel like, oh.
He doesn't think it's that valid though. He thinks it's ridiculous.
But at the same time, if you have a strong bond and relationship and y'all communicate, then there should be a secureness of that.
Vibes by Alicia Season 5 is sponsored by SNR Creative. Are you putting your money towards visibility but not seeing any change or business growth? Well, that is the problem. SNR Creative is a boutique marketing and business development firm in Houston that specializes in turning your ideas into reality in the most creative way possible. From social media management to website development, graphic design to event management, this full-service creative team does it all. The world can't go on without your services, so let's make sure everybody knows your name. You're either fascinating or forgotten. What will you choose? Get ahead and above the competition by contacting SNR Creative with the link in my bio. Mention Vibes by Alicia and receive a free business consultation. Vibes by Alicia Season 5 is sponsored by SheSpace. Hey you! Yes you! Badass hardworking boss. If you're tired of cliche spaces, of the regular and unimpressive, you want to add a little bit of spice to the shared co-working experience, I have just the place. SheSpace is the hub for bold women. It's the queen's throne away from home. I firmly believe in the proximity principle, which refers to the intention of surrounding yourself with the people who embody your ambitions to achieve them. Find that proximity and experience the dream job life here at SheSpace. With membership, you'll have access to a multitude of amenities, a robust calendar of events, and overall a group of like-minded women. So what are you waiting for? Come and see us at SheSpace. Vibes by Alicia Season 5 is sponsored by Finest Blood. Finest Blood provides patients and partners in clinics with service at its finest. Avoid mixed diagnosis in unprecedented times and commit to laboratory services in the finest way. Whether you are participating in mobile or in-lab services, we will provide you with the finest care and make sure your satisfaction is met. No more waiting long hours in clinics. No more waiting long hours for results. No more leaving the comfort of your own home, if that's what you choose. At Finest Blood, our system is designed to alleviate the challenges of accessibility and timeliness of lab work while providing exceptional customer care. We provide you with the best care in anything that we do. Come and see us or follow us at finestbloodllc.com.
So let's ask the question, the one that everyone's wondering. 20 plus years of marriage.
Yeah.
21.
Successfully.
Yeah.
Successful.
How does that happen when Daisy and I, everyone else knows you, we see you as a power couple who's madly in love, who's attracted to each other, who can't keep your hands off each other?
Yeah.
How does that happen after 20 years?
Yeah.
You answer first, because you know what I'm going to say.
I want to hear both of you.
That's a good question.
We're big interview though.
No. Yeah. For me, it's what Rusk has his support for me and support of my dreams and support of who I've become along the way. And also not questioning me in terms of mothering. He accepts me as a mother of our children. He accepts me as his wife, as wild as opinionated as I am. He loves that about me. He loves those flaws that other men would see as flaws, like, oh, she fucking talks too much, or she has an opinion on everything. He finds it endearing and powerful.
Meaning you have a strong personality.
I have a strong personality. He likes that.
Yeah.
And the other thing, it's like he knows that if he can count on me, he can count on me. I'm not going to falter. And when I say ride or die, I really am ride or die. I really am that person that if he says, I need you for this, I'm going to be there no matter what.
I truly
no
believe
matter what.
If there's anyone who's ever said
Yeah.
ride or die,
I believe it.
I believe it coming
Yeah.
from you.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm like that with my friends too. That's why I have a very close
Yeah.
friends, because I don't give my energy to people that don't deserve my energy. I give my energy to people who deserve it. So I told Rescas that if I love you, I'm 120% in
Right.
love with you, all over you, all about you. The minute you fuck up or you do something stupid,
Right.
disconnect it.
Right.
You're disconnected. Because for me, my love and my energy is so all encompassing that either you deserve it or you don't.
So what can Daisy and I and many of your listeners learn from your relationship? Because
Number
you're
one,
asking us
yeah,
about
of
our
course.
relationships
It's
in
about,
our dating
yeah.
world. So please, you have a successful relationship.
Yeah,
marriage.
we do.
You have 2 wonderful children. So please, what can
Number
we learn
one,
from
we
you?
communicate a lot. All day long, we're communicating with each other. What we're doing, where we're going, who we're talking to, what's happening.
We know where we are.
I won't go to a lunch without him knowing where I'm going. If I'm going to go to a lunch with another man, for example, for business, I will invite another woman to come along. I can't even,
She doesn't have
even
to do
though
that.
he doesn't think I should do that. I do it because it's something that I feel I should do that. If I'm on Instagram and a guy texts me or there's a DM, automatic deletion. There's no, he knows that for me, I am all in, and it's
There are
all,
no doubts here.
there's no doubt. And I make it very clear to him that he is my end all be all, and I love him, and he's my world. You know, as a woman, as a traditional woman, I make sure that he's taken care of. I make sure that when he comes home, he's comfy, that I don't bombard him with problems. And I make it all comfortable and wonderful and beautiful for him. Why? Because I want him to come home to me every single day. I don't want him to have an idea of like going out with his friends, because it's more fun to be out with his friends. I want him to come home and be like, baby, you want a Netflix? Yeah, let's watch Netflix. What do you need, honey? You need a little drink? I'll make you a little drink. I make his life so comfortable and so easy, even when he was working 7 hours a week, even when he was coming home and he was still working sometimes on Sundays. I would make it so easy for him to be able to be with me, because I wanted him to be encompassed by my love and my attention, that I wanted him to know that, yeah, I know what you're doing, baby. I know exactly where you're heading. And I'm there with you.
What Thomas is asking is, how do you get to that point? You can't just
You
love
get to that
somebody,
point. Yeah, you get to that point
because
by.
we all want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Thomas
sounds like
and
the
Daisy
epitome of what we're looking for.
They're all looking
It's
for
the
it.
dream relationship.
Right.
So,
And that doesn't mean that I'm not a woman in the fullest sense. I'm still an independent woman.
you're
I'm
a powerful
still
woman.
powerful.
I mean, you have
I'm
a big
still
voice.
driven. I'm still ambitious. I still do whatever
Right.
the fuck I want.
Right.
But I think I'll answer your question.
Please.
It's just luck. It's
Luck.
luck we found each other. It's luck.
No, she manifested you.
No, I don't believe in that.
No, she
I do
didn't.
not.
We do.
I manifested him.
I think that she gave
Right.
all that we were. She answered
Right,
the
she
question.
did. But what if she didn't find me? What if I didn't show up to that boxing match that we had met at Cesar Chavez and De La Hoya in September 19th, 1998, 7 p.m.? What if we didn't meet?
The next man would have gotten all of that of me too.
But
That's who
that
I
man
am.
had to have
Yeah.
attributes.
But he probably couldn't have been here
And-
with you
right.
side by side 20 years later.
Right. We all want to give that to somebody, but you have to find that person in order to give that to, because that person doesn't reciprocate or doesn't have those attributes or characteristics or traits. You can't do that. You have to find somebody in order to be able to open up that way.
And that is, as Daisy and I know, that is the tough part.
The tough part.
But
To
I-
find
finding
that one
somebody.
person to take that
Well,
risk off,
so
to take
that's
the
what-
chance.
that's what
To
you
take the
guys-
chance with,
But
yeah.
taking it's what you said. Well, both of you said it's taking the chance
Yes.
and being open to it.
Yeah,
And I know you
right.
don't believe in manifesting, but Alicia does.
I
And
did.
she
I've always done that.
Specifically knew, like she was very sure whether you believe in manifesting or not. She was specifically sure on what she wanted, and when you are open to whatever could happen, that's when all that will come to you. When
Absolutely.
you're resistant to it, it
Right.
is not going to happen.
No,
because-
absolutely.
But
That's
I
good
think,
too.
and I also think it's not just
Okay, so
love.
your definition of manifesting is different the way I think about it. Your definition is being open.
I think being open, but being
Right.
very
Because
Receptive to it.
Receptive.
Receptive to
It's
it.
very concrete.
Because concrete.
It's very concrete. I mean, manifestations are very concrete.
Yeah,
you're still
that's
stating
that's
what
the way
you
I
want.
see it. Is that
And
you state it, you think it, you talk about
But
it,
it's just
you
being
kind of
open.
pray to something.
being open.
but it's being open. That's different. Being open-minded is how I see manifestation, but actually thinking it all the time and talking to people about it doesn't bring it to you. You have to physically and mentally be open about stuff for it to happen.
That true.
Right.
And
that's what you said.
Yes.
But I thought you were talking about, because what I always hear from Lisa's friends is a lot of fluffy stuff. She's like, they're like, oh, if I just pray to this, or I pray to that, or I talk to this.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is.
Okay, so that's good. I'm glad that was clarified.
But also, whatever you're wanting, the thing is, if you want a certain guy or woman or whatever, you need to become that. Like, you have to become what you want to attract. If you want somebody that's ambitious, then you need to be ambitious. If you want somebody that likes to work out, then you need to work out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It comes down to becoming what you want to attract.
Exactly.
And eventually that person will fall in line with in alignment with what you're doing.
You're absolutely correct, Daisy, because if I wasn't driven, if I wasn't ambitious, Russ wouldn't give me the time of day.
Exactly, because you knew that he will.
And when he saw me at the university walking around with the resting bitch face, he was enthralled by that. He was inquisitive. He was wanting to know who that girl was, because I was different. So Russ was attracted to that differentness about me, the things that made me different.
And now that was a resting bitch face?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Russ will tell you, I would walk through campus and not look at anybody, because that's who I was. I was hyper-focused because of my upbringing. Yeah, hyper-focused. He goes, you would throw your backpack in your little Corolla, your little Toyota Corolla, and never look at anybody. So you're absolutely right. I never looked at anybody. Why? Because everybody around me was a distraction. Everything around me was a distraction. And I was 18, 19, 20, 21. I was super hyper-focused on what I wanted to do in my life.
Daisy, you know what my pickup line was to Alicia?
What?
You will never drive a Toyota Corolla again.
Yeah.
Oh, I had my Corolla for a long time.
So she was in grad school, education major. I was an undergrad. Lisa's obviously, it's not a secret. She's 2 years older than me. And a year and 10 months.
So you're 35 and 37.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. 44 and 46. So she back then 35. So I knew about Alicia because I knew her sister, and because we were in the same group of friends, because her sister was a year younger than me. But we had the same clique. We were in the same majors, but St. Thomas is a very small school. Everyone kind of knows everybody, except the grad school. Grad school they were the evening people. But there was some grad school that had come in, but Alicia was part of all the Spanish organizations. I had friends that were Hispanic, so we all kind of intermingled. We kind of mixed. Always had my eyes on her the entire time.
The Arabs and the Hispanics, obviously.
Right. She had, yes.
So
I had come in, and Alicia said, we went to a mutual friend's boxing fight. We watched it on TV. I open the door. Alicia comes in, and I said, I know you. And she says, she doesn't know anything about me. And so I sit down and I said, so what do you think about Proposition 187, the California education system? Never stopped talking to her after that. That was it. Because she was an education major.
So that was 1998, and that was a big proposition in California for bilingual ed.
Bilingual ed.
And that's how we were talking.
I didn't do the corny stuff. I went straight to the...
You intrigued her in a different level, which again, it's
right.
Not
He tickled my my mind.
He tickled my fancy.
Yeah. No, and my dad was there. My daddy was there, and my dad was on the drive home. He goes, that guy is all into you. Right. Are you ready? I'm like, what are you talking about, Papi? He goes, that guy was so into you. He's gonna call you. He followed you with his eyes wherever you went. He followed you, and I'm like, and my dad, even till today, he will talk to Rusk. He's like, oh, Rusk, I remember the day you met Alicia. I was there, and he's just so funny because he will remind him every time.
Right. So that was a Friday. And then Saturday happens, so there's no word.
No word.
First of all, Daisy.
No word from Rusk on Saturday.
Alicia wasn't at home Saturday. She was at a club.
Yeah, I was out clubbing.
But no word from Rusk.
So
I was out clubbing.
It's good that I didn't call, because if she wasn't at home, then I would have thought I'm never calling again. So it actually worked out. That's what I'm talking about, luck. It's luck. Because if she wasn't at home and I found out that her cousin who lived at the house, or her sister picked up, she's at a club, then I would think she wasn't into me, then I'm never calling again. It was good I did not call Saturday. I called Sunday, and she happened to be at home, I didn't find out about the club until months later.
Later,
I
yeah.
don't call it luck. I think it's just the universe like aligning where
What's
it needed
luck?
to be.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's the
that's
same
luck.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like, yeah. It's
But whatever y'all believe in, listeners, then we just put it in that same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
That's right. That's right. Fate.
It's fate.
Fate.
It's
Yes.
fate.
I think
It's fate.
what's meant to be will always be, and we as humans are very resistant because we fixate on wanting to have this certain person or
The
lifestyle
criteria.
or whatever. But you need to dig deeper and really be like, okay, take an example from Alicia and the rest. Like,
Mhm.
what do you really want in life?
Mhm.
Like, what are your
Mhm.
goals? Like, for financially, like, do you want to travel? Do you want to have kids? Do you not? Like, what are important and what's not important? And if those things align with the person that you're dating,
You're
then
absolutely
great.
correct, Daisy, because even then I
Yes.
wasn't going to give him the time of day because he was a white boy.
Right.
And white people, in my perspective, they were not family oriented. And my family is everything to me. My mom and my dad, I did everything for them. But Russ comes from an immigrant family. So his family was very much in tune with the way that they understood. And his upbringing was very much like mine. And if I would have said, no, you're not in my culture, I would have deleted somebody that was really in tune with me.
Yeah.
But sometimes we delete people because
this
we
guy
don't know.
who's right here 23 years later. Yeah, you're right.
He's in, and
98 to
23
21.
years.
Oh,
23,
23,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So,
both-
Sorry.
if you need numbers,
both of you guys are right. Both of you guys are right.
Yeah. I love you guys. No.
Both of you
But
guys
these are
are
good
right.
questions. These are good questions. Yeah.
God, it goes me on math. Oh my gosh, I hope that's not a prerequisite.
but you know, I gotta say, you know, I know a lot of people around here,
Red
and
wine bath.
there's not one couple who there is no couple who compares to y'all. I mean, just outside looking in, like we see passion, we see love, we see a relationship, we see commonalities. You have two beautiful children.
Yeah.
I am. You guys are very blessed.
Well, we want you guys to be blessed. We really do.
I don't know that
You
blessed
guys-
is the word I would use.
Right.
I would say we
Because-
are very fortunate.
You're very fortunate.
No, but we want them to
Sure.
be fortunate.
I think so. I think we are. And I think that it's
Because you guys are
again,
great people.
I was talking to my friend yesterday in my podcast and hashtag couple goals. Hashtag couple goals, because people say, oh, you guys are couple goals. It is a lifetime of understanding. It's a lifetime of talking. It's a lifetime of really negotiating and compromising.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime of communicating to each other what we want from each other, and Russ being super honest at the beginning. This is what I need from you. And me being super honest. This is what I need from you. Right from the beginning. When we were finally like really monogamous. I'm not saying like the first date. That's what we talked about earlier. It's not the first date. It is a conversation that comes with time, but it was like a super clear communication where I was like, this is what I need from you as in terms of my boyfriend, because you were my boyfriend at the time. And the same thing came from him.
So, you know, you've been asking a lot of questions today. So for Daisy and I,
On behalf of Daisy.
What?
what are your recommendations?
Russ, you go for that one because I already talked too much.
Flexibility.
In what sense?
In all senses. In all senses. Flexibility is key to any relationship, whether it's personal, business, family. I was told when I was having my first son that it's 50-50 nature nurture. And I was thinking I have 50% of control of my kid. And then my kid gets older and I realized I have no control over this kid, especially when he turned a teenager, right? So then I start reading books. I start reading, different journals. I start realizing that's all bullshit. It's actually, to me, in my personal opinion, probably 70-80% nature over nurture. I think you have less control over who we are, how we're born biologically, physiologically, all that kind of stuff, because our older son and our younger son are different people.
Mm-hmm.
Older son is, you know, he's a right brain kid. I don't know where that happened from because Alicia are left brain. I'm very left brain. Lisa's more to the center. How we got a right brain kid, I have no idea. So we had to do a major pivot in our minds to be emotionally supportive of the kid and not to be critical of him because, you know, and he's actually a good kid. You know, he doesn't wake up at 9 or 10 o'clock on the weekends. He wakes up at 7. He does a lot of good things. He's out there actually making a video today, but it's still not enough for me.
You're the rapper.
The rap
video.
Yes,
he does the rap videos.
Right. He was doing another video for actually the Afghan refugees that were coming in. My neighbor works at some. She's a CEO of some.
Incredible.
Right. So
a beautiful mission that he's working on right now.
So, flexibility to me is as you get older to be more tolerant of other people, and in order to find a relationship with somebody, you got to accept the flaws. And Thomas and I had this conversation. We had first met, and then we had a conversation at our house with some other trainers from Sweat. And I said, you guys are all great looking people. You guys are all fit. You guys have, you have muscle definition.
Beautiful people.
Physically, right?
Yeah,
Vanessa,
physical, beautiful.
Abby, Tommy,
all of them are gorgeous, gorgeous.
But they all, I don't want to bring this up again, but they all seem to have a hard time finding relationships because you guys are the top of the dating market. Everybody wants a physical person on the outside, but they all seem to struggle to find somebody on the inside. And so the impression is that if you get the outside fixed, then the inside has to work. And as you get older, you start realizing it's not about the outside; it's about the inside.
It is.
Right? And I think when I met Thomas, when I met Thomas, he was this bodybuilder kind of guy. But I was a little jealous. He was a guy that has the ability to be physically
an Adonis.
Right? I just could never get to that body fat that you were at. But it kind of kept motivating me to go, I'm going to get there eventually at some point. But then I started realizing that everybody there doesn't have a good relationship with people because I think the perspective and the approach is a hardcore physical first, and then the mental comes later. And then you realize that once you get into the relationship, that you don't have this, and this, hell with the physical, right? It doesn't work out. I'm not the fittest guy. Alicia's not the fittest person. You were a lot more fit, but I think you're more kind of realistic now than you were back when.
Oh, without a doubt, without a shadow of doubt.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you seem to be a lot easier to deal with than you were back then.
Yeah.
You have other people that we know that they're concentrating 120% on 0% body fat, but they seem to be miserable.
Right.
But the mental becomes the mental component becomes important as you grow.
Well, that's why I said beauty fades, but it's what's in the person's heart, mind, soul, what their values are.
Their personality.
Absolutely.
Their being.
Yes, there's an attraction, but figure out what's attractive to you. And if there's just that chemistry, you're like, okay, I'm feeling it. And then I think even that like a physical attraction can grow if there's that initial like, yes, he's cute or handsome. And then you learn their heart, their soul, like what drives them, their family oriented, like all those things.
It's different.
Will bring it even closer because I think women are more emotionally like connected versus men are more like physically connected.
Right.
So Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso had an episode on
that. Yeah, that's correct.
No, but it's true. It's true though.
A girl can be physically attracted to the guy, even though later on, as long as she's mentally attracted to them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I value more brain and just their heart, their kindness, like who they are as a person, than I do physicality. Yeah. Like, it's great as long as you want to work out and want to have a healthy. It's more for a healthy lifestyle than anything. But if you're not on the same page,
right. And then it just seems like the guys that, I'm not trying to demean myself, but and make myself feel better. But the guys that seem to be 0% body fat are so self-absorbed about themselves that we have no time for anybody else in this world.
There is no time for anything else when you do that. There is no time.
Yeah, no, you're
I wouldn't be sitting here with a tequila in my hand at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday if that's what I wanted.
But don't you think in retrospect they're missing out on experiences with friends, with people, and connecting in a deeper level? Yeah.
Most definitely. The amount of sacrifices I made to get ready for competition or to look, even getting ready for a sweat class when I was a trainer there, Like I would get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to teach a 6:30 p.m. 6:30 a.m. class.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, nobody does that.
Right.
Like it was addictive.
Right.
It was
Yeah,
addictive.
it is. Yeah.
And then you go half a day, you don't eat. There's no, I mean, even now, like I don't eat my first meal till 4, 5, 6 at night in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, yeah, it's it gets powerful. It gets pretty powerful. It does.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is the conclusion of our conversation today, and I think we really got into some really good in-depth ideas.
Yeah.
Again, I want to ask all of you listeners for some feedback. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what else you want to hear. And if you want us to continue this conversation on communication and relationships, let us know, because we really want to know what you want to hear, and the tips that we have for you, and maybe some of the lessons that we learned along the way. And I think this was beautiful. Daisy, thank you so much for being here today and being such a beautiful addition to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I love you. Thomas, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
It was actually my idea to invite both of you.
Oh, really?
She was.
Yeah,
She has
yeah.
said, I need somebody for.
No, it was a
right.
relationship and communications
Thomas,
topic.
Daisy, I said, just you guys automatically off my head right away. I said, Daisy, based on what Alicia has told me about you,
Yeah,
and
of
what
course.
I know about you personally, you guys are the first ones. I thought you guys would be great for this, and you guys had contributed a lot to. I think a lot of people should understand. You guys have been through the trials and tribulations of going through 20s and 30s through the generation that Alicia and I haven't been able to partake in, and to kind of extrapolate, disseminate on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was great.
No, and so we're thankful for that, because I think if anything, information and knowledge just helps everybody so much, and that's what the podcast is about. It's about giving you all information, giving you all a little education, but inspiring you to be better, and to learn from our life experiences, our mistakes, the things that we've done in the past, the things that helped us in the past, and the things that can help us in the future. So thank you so much, Thomas and Daisy, for being here. Russ, thank you so much for always being a beautiful addition. Yeah, I know. I have to.
No, you do.
I have to, because
Yeah.
you know what? Russ doesn't like to be thanked, but I thank him for everything. And I do say, and I say thank you to you in a very private way. Mr. Elatassi is very loved. Let's just say that. He's loved in every fucking way. I love you so much. And so thank you, everybody. And so if you have any feedback, let us know. We would love to know what you're thinking.
Please provide any feedback.
Salute to everybody. Yes. And thank you so much for being here today. I cannot wait to share this with you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers.